Yeah, the door was closed. I'm a fucking idiot. The door was supposed to be open, but because all the time was so cold, it was so cold outside that we're like, "Yo, fuck it, just close the door, bro." Welcome all to the NewCrown podcast. I am Darryl.
And I'm Phil.
And last episode, we've reviewed our first short film together, Signs of Evil. If you haven't seen it, it'll be in the description below. And this episode, we'll actually review NewCrown's first short film. That's an actual short film. That's actually more of a yeah, it's more of a clip. Actually, it's like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's a short. It qualifies.
Yeah, and it's part. It was intended to be silent, to be honest, in the beginning, and then we added the, obviously added sound effects, and we made it more sort of like just. It basically, Phil has one line in it. And it's a swear word. I find it hilarious because it's extremely contradictory to his character, but it's
very out of character for me.
But yeah, so we're gonna review Limbo, our short film. I think we shot it in the beginning towards the latter end of 2019, and released it.
Yeah, it was winter.
Yeah, it's true. It's almost. I remember the winter was really, really cold. This was prior to COVID.
Yep.
And it's a horror film. Yeah, it's horror. Basically, I was trying to embody this sort of hereditary type-esque of, vibe, and like dream sequence nightmare thing. Make it seem like an endless loop.
Kind of a fever dream type of tone.
Yeah, it's like a Groundhog Day meets it's Happy Death Day meets Hereditary. So I'll share screen, and then we'll do this.
Exciting.
Here we go. Boom. Okay, now we see our faces. We're good.
Yeah.
Last episode we couldn't see our faces. Now we can finally see.
Yeah, that was a shame.
All right, let's play this. Okay. Boom. NewCrown presents.
Ooh, Limbo. I like the slow zoom in.
Yo, the thing is, what's funny though about this thing, like in front of the lamp, we completely forgot that was there.
Yeah.
Yo, we're so dumb. It's legit. Like, it was the biggest mistake I was trying to avoid from Signs of Evil, of like removing, stuff that had nothing to do with like props.
Yeah, not having people in the shot.
And then literally the first frame is legit covered with I think that's a Steadicam, not a Steadicam, the tripod's like case or something, and we left it on the desk because we're such geniuses. And
we hadn't learned that yet, and I remember you and our DP Antoine, we were trying to set up the shot and everything, and we had a lot of problems with lighting at first in the corridor.
Yeah,
because we weren't using lights meant for that. We were using mostly just the lights we had in the house.
Yeah, we're using literally practical lights, and what was it? Oh, we used one lamp.
You used one lamp, but practical lights was.
Yeah, back when we didn't have any budget for
exactly a zero budget film.
We first had our camera. We're like, yes, let's do it.
Exactly.
Oh man. Yeah, I took my clock. Sponsored by Sony. This is Sony. This is actually a Sony feature.
Sony film.
Film. Oh my! You couldn't see the numbers.
Oh yes.
This is right after you got the Mother poster, right? We were like, oh.
It was soon after.
It was a perfect opportunity to have Jennifer Lawrence have a cameo.
Yeah, to show her off,
Yo, Jay, put featuring Jennifer Lawrence in this in the title.
Featuring Jennifer.
Let's clickbait the shit out of this, man, real quick. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I remember this scene. You know what's funny though about this is the fact that fucking Jason had to draw it beforehand, because so we're like, oh yo, just draw a house and then like a girl in there, and I'm like, have Phil just basically like complete the lines. Up. Yeah, it's like it's the funniest thing ever.
Man, that was so funny to shoot. You had the thing directly above me, and it was just standing there, and the thing was just directly above.
Yeah, I know. We had a no. I think I remember the tripod was on the couch. On the couch, on the chair. On a chair, and then you were behind it with your hand on the side trying to draw.
Yeah, going through it. Yeah.
Which I find hilarious. But yeah, it was actually I mean, to be fair, the shot was pretty nice. It's just that
Yeah.
we fucked up. We forgot one shot afterwards.
Yeah.
Ooh. Doorbell.
So I think one thing we hadn't learned yet was to have some lighting in the forefront there.
Yeah.
We should have had some dim light.
Yeah, foreground, like right in the face. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because
Right.
there's a lot of darkness towards the lower quadrant.
Yeah. I think also the biggest thing, funny enough, the doorbell sound, because we try to do it practically, so we would take
Yeah.
like your doorbell sound, but the thing is, it would have like a weird noise in
Yeah.
the background, and so we ended up just like scrapping it, and we just took a basically doorbell sound design from like
Right.
Adobe, and we're just like, yeah, fuck it, let's put it in there. It's
Yeah.
funny, hilarious. We're like, yo, we try to be as practical as possible, and we're like, you know what, this is a movie. We're not supposed to be this practical.
Right. It's not supposed to be this real.
Find hilarious, man. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Man.
Yeah, this mother.
Mother.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Now there's a really great thing with that light that we're going to talk about later, but
yeah, look, the flickering. The funny thing about the flickering lights, we didn't control it. It was
completely accidental, and it was the best thing.
The thing I find hilarious about it is the fact that we were like, oh shit, this is actually like a horror film. Like this is matching the vibe, and then the lights were just like start flickering.
I remember I was going through the motions. I was like, oh my gosh, it's flickering.
Yeah, like it's a real one.
They actually summoned something.
Oh my gosh. Here we didn't have any foreground lights. I took a blue lamp and fucking shoved it as close to his face as possible.
I like how shaky, and I like the tone for that shot. I think it really creates tone very well.
Yeah. You know the funny thing is, because I had a steady cam, right? But the thing is, because I didn't have a monitor, so I couldn't see what the hell I was shooting at. So I would literally go underneath.
Yeah.
Just basically, I would like, you know, like when you try to peep underneath like underneath your bed or something, like trying to like you drop something underneath your bed, you're trying to get it, and so you're trying to like use your phone as like a little like to see where it is. It's basically that's the most funniest thing. Obviously, we couldn't see. It's wake up. But that was my favorite part. I really wanted to do that. I saw that was like too practical for like horror movies. I was like, yo, Antoine was a DP, but also he was acting as the monster in the film.
Yes.
I find it was like, yo, just run from right to left, all quick like as like, you know, and run past the camera. I was like, this is gonna be fire. So we had this in the foreground. We had a shadowy figure pass down the foreground. Was funny.
That's hilarious.
Oh man. Oh. I remember this. Like. There he is. Where's Waldo?
I could see his pants.
No, I remember it. Because like this was the last shot we did because I completely forgot about it. I was like, oh shit, that's true. Because like Antoine was like, yo, are we rapping? Like, yeah. And then I said, oh no, actually we have one more shot. He got fucking pissed because I didn't make a shot list. So I was like, yeah, we need one more shot. Where's the shot where he turns around? Oh, sorry, like the camera turns around behind your character when as your character goes up the stairs, and we see that the creature or the monster in the background. Oh shit! No, the sound is the most hilarious thing. Boom,
boom.
It's like the thump sound from Signs of Evil, but like Oh, if you guys didn't guess, this is 2 different rooms.
Yeah, completely different.
Hey, yeah, we nailed it. To be fair, we nailed it.
We did good.
Hey, it's really hilarious because you're like basically on your left is your mom's bedroom, so it's just the bed there. So you're going in front, you're just like
in front of the bed.
Huh. Oh my gosh, man. Like, nah, there's no one there. drawing. This shot was post because we've completely forgot about this shot where you had to
That's
redraw.
Jason.
No, it was you. It was you. But it's just that we shot it in a different day, and that's why it looks so different. I was like, oh my
Looks so different.
god damn it.
Oh yeah. Were you in there?
I was literally right there. I'm like at the corner, at the bottom corner, like of the door. I was literally right behind. I was like, "Yo, can you see me?" I was trying to hide as I'm pushing out the door, so it's funniest thing ever.
That was great. That shot is really fun.
When the director was part of the film process.
Yeah.
Oh man, and then the sound design makes it sound great.
And then the sound just goes away.
Ding dong. There's the one thing I told you. Oh yeah, the blue light kind of like I kind of messed it up.
Is it a bit too bright?
Yeah, but essentially the whole meaning of the blue light is basically like a warning sign of its of its presence. But it was supposed to be like really dim, but instead it was mad bright. So I was like, fuck.
Yeah, it looks like something's glowing in there.
Yeah, it's like a blue, like what the hell is it? Like there's a rave going on in there.
Yeah.
And then obviously there's no light there, so yeah, there's a full there's a discontinuity.
Yeah.
God damn.
A little continuity. Cool.
I'm sure trying to focus. Look how long it took us to focus.
That whole shot.
Where's the focus? Where's the focus? Where's the focus? Where's the focus?
You know, that's kind of what the Snyder Cut is like.
Yeah.
In some shots.
Kind of. I like that documentary style type of thing where it's like shaky. And really close.
Yeah, I like the shakiness movement outside.
I also like how your house basically creaks every single time.
Yeah.
Like as you move, it always does like a little. Has
yeah.
Like a scary sort of vibe. It has like a
It is haunted.
It is haunted.
Hi, it's me. Leave a message.
Yeah, one line. Fill one line. Let's go.
It's me. Leave a message.
So, well, I think for that sound we actually banged the door downstairs, no?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Then yeah, we just recorded. I find it hilarious because like your mom was just there, like, what are these kids doing?
Yeah, my mom was just like, "What's going on here?"
These guys are tripping balls right now. They're banging my door.
These kids, what are they doing in my house?
This is one of my favorite shots. If only the stupid thing was in front of the lamp. Oh, look at that! Discontinuing again. This one was one of my favorite shots.
Oh, yeah.
This one here. Oh, ominous music.
Almost reminds me of a video game in how it's an over-the-shoulder shot.
Yeah. This one I'm so proud of because I nailed the fucking the pan. The ominous sound. Well, my guy decided to come up with a baseball bat. Yeah, who's over here, man?
Oh.
Yo, hero shot.
Hero shot.
I'm Spider-Man. Yeah, that sound. I don't know why, but that sound. I don't know what was there.
It's like Electro is suddenly part of this.
Don't you know?
movie.
Electro. He is actually Spider-Man.
It's Electro is after him.
Don't you know? I'm Electro. Couldn't fucking see it. Found you. Yeah, the door was closed. I'm a fucking idiot. The door was supposed to be open, but because all the time was so cold, it was so cold outside that we're like, "Yo, fuck it, just close the door, bro."
It's that cold. You guys cannot handle it.
I'm dead. Man. Oh. Funny thing about that scene My guy stubbed his toe as he ran towards us. Oh my god. Hey. Oh man. Jesus. You feel with the short hair? Wearing jeans. He's
Yeah.
wearing jeans to go to sleep. You know he's a psychopath.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's the same character from the
The
last
signs of
one.
evil. Yeah, exactly. Oh. What's it? The laughing clown sound, bro. Yo, I like the soundtrack. Let's go. I find it hilarious though the what do you call it the one thing I found really funny about the fucking the whole note thing is
Yeah.
the fact that it could have legit been like someone else that lived with the person. So like, oh, are you having a dream? Like it's like a prank. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not
Yeah.
exactly a horror film, but it could have been just legit like, oh, surprise.
There's something I find interesting in the process, which is I feel like it's kind of the origin of your own filmmaking style.
Mm.
Like it was more so even than Signs of Evil, because Signs of Evil was really like the origin of our like
Yeah.
just attempting the craft.
Yeah.
But here is also like problem solving
Mm.
to a bigger degree because it's all at night, right?
Yeah.
And we had much more like to deal with the lighting, and we had much more to deal with, sound things.
Yeah, I feel like as we progressed, we sort of had obviously we had a better understanding of how to do things, but also how because the biggest problem from Signs of Evil was the fact that it was super long, right? It was like 34 minutes. I mean, the story was very sort of like the same thing over and over again. It was a very slow beginning.
It's step by step, but it's also the same thing 3 times.
Yeah, exactly. So essentially, the biggest like issue we had was trying to crop a story in I was trying to make a sort of concrete story that's like understandable within a short amount of time,
Yeah,
and also because it's because Sons of Evil was so like long to shoot, we wanted to create a film that was sort of easier to shoot, so like we'd actually start from the beginning and like focus on each aspect. So first, that's why the reason why I wanted to do it as a silent film was to master the framing, because that was the
right.
biggest issue from Sons of Evil. And literally, Sons of Evil was like I threw myself in the deep end, and then we say, "Fuck it, let's see what we have to fix."
Yeah, it's what we call a trial by fire.
Yeah, and so the biggest thing the biggest problem from Sons of Evil, I think, was the framing and also the
Mhm.
sound. Sound. I mean, if you're doing a silent film, we don't really need sound, so I
Right,
completely removed that variable and
right.
then kept in just the framing. So the framing in this is good. Obviously, the lighting was a bit more. That was a different problem.
It's probably the bigger challenge in this.
Yeah.
And we also had, in some cases, focus issues, but we played
Yeah.
them in.
Yeah.
We managed to work them in a, I would say, natural way.
Yeah.
I think overall, we also create a tone consistently far better than we did in Signs of Evil.
Yeah. I think we stuck to something that's more that was more compact and like more straightforward. It's not
Yeah,
like a
more cohesive.
yeah, more cohesive, exactly. I also feel like the second problem I think from Sign of Evil, aside from like the audio and the actual visual, was the idea of having you know um a character having like a really deep backstory. I was essentially trying to write a feature film into like a 30-minute type deal, which
Right.
is obviously without a budget it's kind of tough.
Yeah.
It's doable, but it's just not great. So essentially I was like, okay, I'll create a story that's very sort of shallow, it's very straightforward, had no backstories. I said fuck it, and just like have like a more of a feel good type of deal, and then we work our way up, which we'll eventually will review come in, and eventually also Proteus, which Phil
Yeah.
directed, and as the progression of those films go, we would see certain aspects be mastered and then other aspects have to deal with. I think that the hardest part was sound. Sound I think was the last part that we've mastered, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah, it's the thing that we took probably the longest to. We had to struggle with the longest. I think.
yeah, and I find it's the most important thing. I think is one of the
Yeah,
most
it's so
important things.
important.
Like it's like
That,
to be honest. So I feel like you know right now I think that the sound problem is too minimal, but I think we could still do a better job at it.
sure, we're
I
still
feel-
improving in that regard.
And so finally the actual writing process, we sort of combined our strengths, and so we had like the cohesiveness of the storylines and the dialogue writing and all that stuff, but also keeping a sort of almost certain surrealist aspect of the film to it without
Yeah,
making it too sort of uh, complex, if you will,
right. I would
understandable.
say even that from here, almost every New Crown project from then on has this surrealist
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
tone and aspect to it
yeah.
in some manner.
I mean, there's a lot of inspiration from popular films. I mean, there were well, relatively like indie films. Like Come In obviously is a sort of homage, well, homage. I guess you call it an homage to Get Out.
Yeah, yeah. To Mr. Jordan Peele, and his works.
Mr. Jordan Peterson. And then also my next another film is coming out. I'm releasing it in August 1st. It's called Alter Ego. It's basically it's Venom, and you'll see the very close comparison of Venom and
Yeah,
Alter Ego.
cult film Venom.
Yeah, so it's basically a no budget film Venom, but hey, argue is better.
Incredible.
Tell
That's a
Hardy you
good
guys
sell.
shit on us, bro.
Incredible.
But hey, I was thinking also, since since we have a lot of time, we could talk about what was your process like? What would you think about the process initially during that time? Looking back at it, how we handled things, you think we could have done well? Obviously, we did
Right.
it better, but
So Limbo for me was it started very quickly. Like we got into it very quick. We had like I remember you told me we had like the story done within like a day or something,
yeah,
right? So we just jumped into it
yeah,
and on a in a sense it was almost a positive that there wasn't much to prepare for
mm.
in the sense there wasn't like much
There's no
to
dialogue
the
really.
character that I had to study.
Yeah,
So I just had to get in there and get scared.
yeah, basically.
Um, so in that sense, there was a simplicity to it. Going through it, I also had to think of like what would it translate to on screen? How do you like show fear consistently without it becoming cartoonish?
Mm. Yeah,
Because a fear with the previous performance that I'd done for Signs of Evil was that it would become too cartoonish. I didn't want it to go too overboard.
yeah.
This time I was trying to weigh how to do that.
More a little more realistic in a sense, where it's
Yeah,
not
more
too
grounded.
exaggerated. Yeah,
Yeah, less theatrical.
yeah. I feel that.
Yeah, because for sure that when I was doing Signs of Evil, I was bringing a lot of my theater background into it. I think.
Yeah. Well, there's a major difference that from theater and filmmaking, whereas theater's a lot really over exaggerating, really sort of
Yep.
vocalizing, seeing as the audience is literally right there. Not only that you have to speak loud enough that the audience can hear you, but also to sort of project the emotion or the tone that the character is projecting at the moment. Whereas like in film, it's
Yeah,
just
you need everyone in the back of the room to feel the
exactly.
same things
Yeah,
as the people in front.
exactly. Whereas a film, we could basically do 100 takes and just say experiment.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
the film's different.
But yeah,
Micro expressions, everything.
yeah, exactly. Well, what do you think? What did you think about the? Well, because seeing as this was most like the reason why we did it, it was one to do something towards that time, but also to submit it to our film school in order to get to a certain
Yeah,
program. So what do you think? Because I know you. Well, since we might as well do a reaction here right now since we still have time. We could do a little a little throwback to Housetour Freestyle. Since that was my Limbo was my submission for the film prod. Oh, the
Yep.
film prod program, but I feel like because Concordia is so like used to making like gravitating towards was it experimental films. I feel
Yeah.
like when I was looking back at it, I was like, since I could do it myself, why not? I mean, just like keep going. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
I
kind of
mean,
yeah.
I think from there, it's also when we decided that we wanted a group of like handpicked people to consistently collaborate with and build kind of this thing that is NewCrown,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, that was the whole thing where I sort of realized that I don't really need um the school to sort of make movies when I can just do it myself. You know what I mean? And at
Yeah,
the
we
same,
have the Edgar Wright method.
yeah, and also at the same time, you have more freedom since you're the one. You basically direct everything
Yeah,
yourself.
you're doing it for yourself
Yeah,
completely.
you don't have like the restrictions of what the school wants and whatnot. So essentially,
Sure.
this was the one of the reasons why I wanted to make this. And yeah, since we've seen my submission, let's go check out Phil's. It's not
Yeah.
okay. So to put into context, before everyone criticizes or overly criticizes it, this is completely just for fun. Okay, so don't take the rap seriously. Two, yes, it is me rapping.
So it's the beginning of Darryl's long-standing rap career.
And three, um, yeah, we don't own any of the copyrights here. This is all Kanye West is doing, and Schoolboy Q. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll try and
Yeah.
This is a react of the actual. This is gonna be a react channel basically in the end of the year.
It's a React channel now.
Yeah. So what was your inspiration for this one? Well, I mean, like
Right.
essentially, you wanted to do a music video, or was it my idea for a music video?
So we were both talking about like, oh, we did one for your submission. Let's do one for my submission.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to do something that was a long take. I wanted to do something like that I hadn't done before. So you mentioned a music video,
Oh yeah,
and I thought about it. I looked through it, and it seemed like a great idea for something really fun,
yeah.
different for us to do. So yeah, I decided to direct a little music video starring you. That was very interesting. I mean, in your films, I'm starring. In my films, you're starring.
Yeah,
So
hey, I mean, you can't be the star of your own film. It's too complex.
it's too difficult.
Too difficult. And yeah, it's a big ass headache, which I learned the hard way with Come In. But anyways,
Yeah, we both learned the hard way.
But yeah, no, you know what's funny though for this film was because essentially I think it was supposed to be like I was like, oh, we should do a house party where like there's different stuff going on in the background, like little cameos, memes or whatever.
Right.
As our characters are going um through the house, because it's what's called house tour, because it's basically a house tour. We're going through the house. There will be like parties going on in the background and stuff. But then like half of the people bailed or whatever, and he couldn't show up. And I think it was. I mean, it was, to be fair, it was like towards March where all
Yeah.
exams are, so I don't really blame them. But I find it hilarious how.
Yeah, no, it's understandable.
Yeah. It was like 3 people that came in, but anyway,
We had to make do with what we had.
Yeah, we improvised this.
Yeah, it was there was a lot of improv in the people. The one thing that I really wanted to do though was like plan where we were going, how we were gonna,
Yeah.
But I couldn't really make a storyboard
Yeah.
with a one take.
The funny thing is though, there were like 2 complicated shots that were involved in the film, where one you had to go through a table, which that was probably the hardest thing ever, because
That was the hardest thing.
Your table had a freaking like a blockade in the middle of the bottom.
Yeah, separator. Yeah.
So we couldn't fit the goddamn Steadicam through that. It's so funny. So we basically passed it through one leg. I find it hilarious, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second one was, I mean, because the Steadicam was basically allowed us to flip the camera. So we just basically spin the camera. We had to time it with my sort of movement. You guys will see obviously what I'm talking about, but
Yeah.
there's gonna be it's just so funny because it was shot in one day.
It's very fun.
It was shot in one day,
Yeah.
so every single outtake,
Yeah.
the like the light would dim slowly, and more and more and more until like towards the
Yeah.
end of the afternoon it started being really dark, or like subtle dark. And so yeah, I mean I find it just hilarious. But yeah, let's share this real quick, man. Let's react to this.
Yeah, my first music video.
Oh yeah. Wait, what the hell? You can also. What the fuck? Okay. First song.
Yeah. It's my
Yeah.
first song.
It's my first song, dog.
But this shit about to be lit. Y'all ready?
Party at the house, we gon' turn up. Oh, it's a music vid.
Visual
We get the
film. Hey, this is
word
fire
out.
though. This is
Damn,
fire.
bro, I don't rap.
We basically had
But I
Jason
adapt, though. Yo, this song be
holding the camera the
fire.
entire time.
I'ma hit y'all with these fucking bars. Damn! Whoa! Hot bars.
Boy out here making his first
Good
song.
job from our friend Darryl.
That's hard.
Hey yo,
Bro, come on,
Hey.
sing along.
the lighting. Remember, we had the idea to have one part of the house blue and the other part of the house red.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so nice. Like right now, like this shot
It-
is fire.
It's a great effect. And I wanted also to insert some symbolism within these rooms. And so we're going to be seeing that as we go through each room. We're going to like pause and,
Yeah.
briefly talk about it.
And obviously we have director knocked out on the floor right there.
Yeah. Sleep in there.
You have yours truly slacking
Oh,
off.
sing along. That part.
Yeah.
My first song finna
Finna
be
be
a
a
hit.
hit.
No auto tune, just straight up lit. Bars after bars,
Hey.
dog. Might drive you in my car, dog. Oh right, I sold my car, dog. So I'ma smoke this lit cigar, dog. Ooh, this shit so nasty. I was trying to be classy.
Hey, I have a question though. What was your inspiration? Well, what was the idea behind you being like a sort of like a hangover type thing? Well, you had like
Yeah, it's like the leftovers of a huge party.
a huge party.
And-
Huge party. Yeah. Yeah.
And someone just going through all of that and seeing all the vices, the excess, the everything. And
Yeah.
so having someone on the floor against the wall there, it just it's an image that I think of when I think of excess.
I feel like I think the because the legit because it was a one take, everyone had like it was basically a whole choreography. The entire house had a whole thing to do.
Yes, it was. We had to organize everyone moving throughout the house at the same time.
Yeah.
It's our first choreography, really, and
I find it great.
Yeah,
I find
it
it's quite cool because everyone knew.
I think we did really good.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
One day. We had 1 day to prep. Well, we had 1 day actually. We prepped on the day of, and basically every single person
Yeah.
knew what they had to do as they were doing it. So I find it quite interesting how we sort of managed to pull that off.
Yeah, we somehow pulled that off. I'm very glad. It was kind of technically my directorial debut,
Yeah.
so I'm glad it turned out
Oh.
the way it did.
And the funny thing about it is you had class right after, so we kind of we're on a tight schedule. Oh man.
Ooh,
Yeah,
this shit so nasty.
yeah, we had a limit. I had to get
I
to
was
class.
trying to be
Yeah.
classy. Haven't smoked a real cigar since people called me fatty.
You're fat.
But hey, never mind all that. I'ma start to rap. Let me grab my sack.
Yeah.
What you think
That
about
effect,
this?
though?
I'ma start humble rapping like I'm legit. Oh right, I can't forget to
Here's a
spit
shot.
about the facts that I think that I know. Like camels only have 2 toes, and that
Yeah, my boy, I like that, my boy
are
Ray.
the goats. Hey,
Party at the
There's Jason.
house.
Oh, you know what's funny though? Because you passed the camera. I find it quite genius. You passed the camera here,
get
right?
to spit about the facts that
And then-
I
and then
think
now
that
you're
I
holding
know.
the
camera,
Like camels
And then you had
only
Jay
have
run
2
all the way to the other
Yeah.
side. Yeah, I just
toes,
see
and
that.
that Cole and Kendrick
So
are
it's
the
like,
goats.
yo,
Hey,
where's
Party
where
at
does
the
that come
house, we gon' turn up. Oh, it's a music vid.
Hey.
Then get the word out. Damn,
So-
bro,
Who's this
I
guy?
don't rap.
Who's
this
Yeah,
guy?
but I adapt.
The guy himself.
Yo, the funny thing is, that's so cool about this is we actually bought a bunch of like red those gels.
Yes,
And we put them
we
all in
taped them
Yeah,
on every window.
and like
And
the thing that's funny is like as the because the light would move because throughout the day it would go down. Like
Yep.
eventually, like I think this was the best take in terms of light wise, because like the sunset was literally beaming at the red light, the red gel, and so it would make it like this cool crimson effect. It's like
yeah, there's also symbolism wise, this is where we enter the kind of red zone of the basement and all.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like vices on display. You see that little red cup. You're gonna see more of this room as we come back to it.
Yeah.
But it's the room where I wanted to show a lot of just having your character, you the rapper, come out as well from there. It's almost like a hell metaphor
yeah.
sense.
I mean, yeah, quite. It's like a pre-hell metaphor. It's like
Exactly. And then we're gonna enter the pit, literally.
That's cool. That's cool.
Though,
Yeah.
yo, this song be fire.
I'ma hit
Oh,
y'all with these.
Obviously, when you
fucking
enter hell,
bars.
you
Get
got
up the
like,
stairs,
all
cause
the
we
bands
out here
flying up.
rolling.
That part.
Bitches
Yeah.
in the room, I'ma pull up on them.
Okay.
Homie,
Little problem
I'm
with the
on
lighting
rock
here,
these
but
jeans cause
that's-
I love
That was
denim.
probably the only
Love
thing.
denim.
Motherfuckers out here drinking, can't beat them, then join them.
Just join them.
I'ma shoot some Jaeger with
Oh,
a
yeah,
shot of
this scene.
vodka.
Some vodka.
We literally bought like those strip lights on top, and we managed to like because it was a good thing. That
Yeah.
your basement had had like sockets on the wall, so we could like plug it in.
Yeah.
So it made it look good. But
It has a
that's-
very good effect. When you look up, it creates some very interesting shadows on you.
yeah, you can see my titties, man.
But yeah, it makes you have this very ominous presence, and it's I think it's a powerful visual. It really also gives you that that rappers of old look
Yeah.
with
With the hat. Yeah. The thing is though,
Yeah.
what I find cool and what kind of find hilarious about this scene as well is the fact that when we shot it, because you had candles open, like they're all
Yeah.
on there. The basement was so hot, and so we would like
Yeah.
go downstairs. Oh fuck, man! It was like it would feel like a plus the heating, it'd feel like a furnace down there. It's unbelievable. But yeah,
yeah,
join
yeah,
them.
an extra layer of heat. was
actually,
quite
yeah, it feels like hell. It literally feels like hell.
Shoot some Jaeger with a shot of vodka.
Some vodka.
I'm finna take these shots until I get a coma.
He dead now.
This scene where we had to spin the camera.
Some vodka.
I'm finna take these shots until I get a coma.
Smack
He
camera.
dead now.
I'ma break these furnitures all from IKEA. I'm about to go.
Insane.
I'm about to cause some drama.
Whoa.
Fat ass, tight ass, any ass. Homie don't discriminate. That's just a real fact.
Hey,
Big sack.
look
Homie
at
also like him with a big.
The transition in this thing is hilarious, man. It's crazy.
It
Every
is.
single,
It's-
every single way we could.
so you can
find it.
notice in the basement, there's the little devil fork. There's the candles. A lot of pseudo-religious items
Yeah, and also you had
that we
the,
inserted in.
Yeah, you had the whole what was it the whole darkness in it. It actually feels like hell. And it's hot as fuck too.
Yes, it felt like hell.
It is hell.
Right,
It is
no
hell.
It is a darkness, and then obviously you go back up. You see my dumbass smoke.
cap, but I never hit him with a bitch slap.
Real rap.
Yeah, but my raps make
Yeah,
you
yeah.
snap
Amount of
back,
times we
snap
try to
back.
do
Now you
this.
go
The only times we tried to do this,
Yeah.
because the smoke would basically just run out. So I was like, oh fuck. And at one point, I remember putting the mouthpiece onto the ash. I was like, fuck. I had a mouthful of ash, man. It's crazy.
representing
With a
all
real
teams.
cigar.
See, makes me black and
Real
yellow
cigar.
like I'm Kobe.
Yeah, here you can see like the strips of like the red tape there that's on the wall.
Yeah,
I remember you had to like basically finish it off right before the shoot because it would have little cracks on it there,
yeah.
like the top lining and all that stuff. So you and Jason came in at your place really early. You fucking stripped all that. It was dead as like a party. It's fucking hilarious.
It was like a party when everyone entered.
Oh my gosh, but it's so funny. And then
Be
Yeah, my
trice,
friends
no
playing beer
names, no
pong.
phonies. Yeah, phonies. Rolling
That's
with
great.
the homies.
We
rolling. Up in Brian's car, new Toyota Camry.
That's stolen.
Back to the ground floor, the boys are with me.
Where the boys at?
I'm the
Oh,
real
yeah,
deal.
there you
Hope
go.
you enjoy the MV. Just been to the crib with the real bro. That homie's insane. He a weirdo,
Yeah,
but his songs be lit.
Music video effects, real quick.
Yo, I'm impressed
The ice
though.
cold
When is
here
Yeah,
when we
Here's
drop
that.
all the money.
yeah. I feel like actually it makes sense with that whole heaven thing where it's all good. So
Yeah,
you know,
this is the kind of money heaven, so to speak, having made it with all the money.
and with the snow in the background makes perfect sense with it being blue.
real bro? That homie's
It
insane.
seems more cold. It seems more posh. In a sense.
Yeah, I think during this time actually there was a whole snowstorm, so everything was white outside. So
Yeah, so it fits.
it made perfect sense for it to work.
He a weirdo, but his songs be lit. Yo, I'm impressed though. When is it released?
Probably on 2020. Yeah.
Hey, let's fucking go, man.
That was something. That was it was a very nostalgic viewing.
Yeah,
So
it is. I wrote the fucking song.
it's a very different filming experience from Limbo, say, because this time it's a one take choreography,
Yeah.
right? And I was hoping that I could simultaneously learn from the experience to, start out really as a director, have something less focused on narrative telling and more on just the visual aspect, trying to we had to play with lighting in a sense. We had to play with the colors in every room.
Yeah.
We had to really, like, in a sense, fine tune what we wanted for every room. But it was really about creating an individual tone in every room. And it creates also like a spatial awareness when you go through the place and then you come back the same way, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of gives you that spatial awareness of every area and its own kind of world.
What was your challenges as a director? What was the biggest challenge during this?
So, of course, it was fighting against the time of day changing.
Yeah.
Because it was so important in every room that we had to be very, very efficient.
Yeah.
So one thing I'm happy with how it turned out is the choreography, so to speak. We got everyone to do everything they had to very mechanically, but everything turned out good on cam. Everyone were at the right places at the right times. We didn't have any mess ups for the good take.
Yeah.
And we managed to actually make the entire thing in one take, even though what's funny is there's like two areas where it looks like we could make a cut.
Yeah, well, there were two areas where we actually cut. I think it was during the spin, and then the transition from the kitchen to the dining room, where we had a little cut there, so it sort of meshed perfectly with the best cuts of each takes of each shot.
Right, have the best of each. Yeah.
But I remember the ones that you submitted.
Yeah, it was.
The one that you submitted was the actual one take itself, so it's not that bad.
Yes, exactly.
So, what'd you think about your first?
Wanted to.
Your first directorial debut. What'd you think about it?
Well, it seems like it was a bit of like a tryout, a bit of a not a gimmick, but rather like a very specific type of thing, which isn't necessarily like what I make now. It's very different, but it's something I want to try out a bit, like an exercise in tone. And I think I'm not ashamed of it. It's my we started out, we're just kids starting out with our gear, right?
It was your signs of evil.
Yeah, it's my signs of evil, I suppose. Yeah. And this time we got to star you, which was very fun.
Fine. Yeah. It was a good.
We had you and our trusty friend Brian having to be on cam
Yeah.
And you guys did a really good job of guiding this thing.
I think
So,
we'll
yeah,
have I think we both did like we essentially tried to find like the actors to be in front of the cameras doing the whole choreography thing. I'm so baffled with the idea of like having everyone move because we were so limited in the amount of people, so you obviously see the same people twice.
yeah,
It's like like legit like as I'm going down the stairs, everyone's like, okay, move in the kitchen, do this, that.
right.
Once we're up on top of the kitchen, we do a round, and then once I'm passing the dining room, run towards the other side.
Yeah, I think that's probably the single thing that I'm the proudest of for this project was how efficient we made. We made use of the very few people we had to
Yeah.
crowd every room, basically.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally like a dance. I like it. It's like I mean, in a sense, if you watch like one take movies like was Birdman and all of them like 1917,
Yeah,
you have essentially the same thing where as the cameras are moving by, even though it's not like a complete one take, it's obviously just cuts. But whenever you watch those type of films, you could tell like when say when a camera is moving this way, you know what the characters behind in the background are doing, as
right.
also the ones who are not in the shot, they're preparing for the next scene itself, which I don't know. I feel like it's more of a theatrical performance in a sense.
There's something about it that is theatrical, I agree. It's also about like there's never a moment where you're not in the space,
Exactly, yeah.
in a sense.
It's
Yeah.
like you're always doing something.
Yeah,
Whereas like in a more traditional set, it's more like you have a crew and then you have the cast, and obviously
right.
the cast will do something, but then the crew will be sort of behind the scenes, sort of like overlooking the performance. Whereas in this shot, the crew is basically part of the cast.
Yeah,
Where
exactly.
in a sense you can't because you see the entire space itself. It's not like a one like it's like a one off where you see only one side.
Yeah,
The entire
it's
space is a
everyone in the crew has alternated and been in the shot. Everyone has had a moment.
Yeah.
And so I think it's in a sense everyone creates this entire space as a living thing in
Yeah.
this video.
Yeah.
So
Well-
yeah, that's something I find very fun.
My question to you is: would you make another music video?
Perhaps given an opportunity with an interesting idea, then perhaps.
Okay. Did
It's
you
not a
find
no,
your-
but
yeah. I mean, it's not like your go-to choice of
it's not the thing I will go out of my way to do.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting attempt. It's a very
Yeah.
interesting idea.
How would you describe your film directing style in the sense like what do you like? I know me like as I'm watching my films, looking back, I'm a big fan of POV shots, which I find hilarious because
Right.
I didn't like sort of it's not a conscious thing. It's not like oh I want to insert this POV shot because it's my thing. It's like very much sort of like oh this looks good and it makes sense
Right.
for the scene.
Yeah, it's an aesthetic preference that shows up.
So
Um,
what is yours? What do you
I think for myself, there's kind of this idea that I see a few times of having somewhat of a small person in a big place, or rather having a juxtaposition of a character going through a area that has kind of a personality in a sense,
Yeah.
and having those characters have to a bit struggle through these areas. They don't
introspective.
necessarily, yeah,
Introspective, yeah.
definitely. And it's a lot about like there's a clash between the grandeur of the area and how much these characters, mostly the main character, doesn't fit in how he struggles through
Yeah.
the area in a sense.
Yeah. I feel like
And I think at this point in time when
yeah, no,
Yep.
I think your directing style is very much like it matches like your personality in a sense, very very philosophical, very sort of Like it's very more like what is it? Like you're more thinking about it. Like it's more like introspective work and sort of like seeing the minds behind the minds of the
Reflective, I
character. Yeah,
suppose.
reflective. Yeah, seeing behind the minds of each character.
Yeah, yeah, I think I agree with that. There's a lot of like characters having to think and having to have like the area demonstrate this comparison between their through line and what they're thinking and what this world
Yeah.
is thinking in a sense.
And what is your like dream as like your dream type project? If you have like an idea of like what like the a feature film that you want to make, like the what like the general concept of it, like what would you make? Like say if you were given the budget of like I don't know $2 million or whatever to make a feature film of your choice and you could create whatever story you want. What would be like the ideal story you would choose to make in a sense? Would it be like sort of what is it like a boyhood type esque of film? Would it be more sort of you know a documentary more, or you know coming of age? What would it be?
It would perhaps be if I had like an unlimited budget, then I would maybe go the Blade Runner route
Okay.
of trying to create a world that feels extremely cohesive within itself,
The
that
OG,
feels extremely large.
the OG one, or the Villeneuve version?
Yeah, well, both.
Yeah.
I would say both have this quality in a sense of having this large world with these small characters wandering through it.
Okay.
I could also cite the Lord of the Rings trilogy as having this quality of having this very large spanning world
It's kind of like a fantasy
with
type
these,
of world building.
yeah, maybe a high fantasy type of thing.
Okay.
Having also to mesh in cultures that haven't really had the spotlight in fantasy before. That would be interesting as well. Inserting like inspiration from different cultures than only the typical European medieval.
Yeah.
You know, you could insert all sorts of things into that type of world that could be very interesting, I find.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah.
I feel like the there's a lot of cultures that movies fail to explore in the sense that there's a lot of honestly when you see they portray specific culture, like for example the sort of native animalist type of you know depiction is very sort of like tribal and like what I mean, it's very like grounded. I feel like it's sort
Right.
of almost like a it's not it's mocking it, but it's sort of like it's not like making it bigger or sort of more grandiose, like the we'll keep it to a grounded level, you know what I mean? Whereas they take like
Yeah, it's like a bit of a stereotype.
yeah,
And
and then they
yeah.
would take like Celtic or Norse, and they would like fucking make it mythical and like what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
Grandiose. Yeah.
So I find it it's a shame because a lot of cultures out there that have different creatures or like different like sort of different
Yeah.
beliefs and all that, they could be integrated into their films and have Black Panther is a perfect example of that, where they basically gathered different tribes of Africa and like it took inspiration from them and sort of created their own sort of culture in a sense, but based off
Yeah.
of real ones. And so
It feels authentic.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
didn't keep it tribal and didn't keep it sort of like I mean, they made it grandiose and like there obviously I don't think people in Africa are carrying fucking vibranium spears everywhere, but
Right.
regardless of that, they sort of still kept the authenticity, but also added the epic aspect of it, the whole majestic aspect of it,
Yeah.
which I find
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
it's a shame because a lot of like in South America or whatever, or in even in parts of Asia that haven't been explored yet, that not all explored, haven't been sort of culturally explored yet. Like we're always gravitating towards like Japanese and like kung fu and all that stuff. And like,
Yeah. All the time. Yeah, I agree.
it's kind of like it's kind of repetitive, and like often when they depict like a samurai, it's always the same thing.
Yeah.
Samurai armor with a katana, and then sort of like, oh, I have honor. You know what I'm saying? Which I kind of find 47 Ronin to be quite interesting in that respect, where it's like they take that into a more like spiritual level, like dragons and all that stuff. But even then,
Right.
it's kind of like the same thing, where it's kind of like, oh yeah, the dragons are always the big gods, good guys. It's not like twist. I mean,
Yeah,
predictable.
it's not like exploring the DNA of that culture
Yeah.
to a deeper extent than, like, say, I think Black Panther explores a lot of the isolationist nature of a lot of those cultures.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of depth to be had through analyzing it and, restructuring it into like a fantasy that is reflective of reality.
Yeah. I feel like that's how. I mean, like that's why a lot of people gravitated towards that film because it ultimately it made a parallel between the not only the MCU films but also with the real life struggles
Yeah.
between identities of Black African Americans and Africans and having them
Yeah.
be disconnected from their motherland because of slavery and all that.
Yeah.
And I find it quite interesting how it sort of a Marvel movie of all fucking things. Like a blockbuster, like you would expect a blockbuster to be like, oh yeah, we'll make a big dude with panther claws and we could
Right.
and stuff, but actually gave it some essence, which we
Yeah,
always
a
have
lot
this
of
debate.
depth.
Yeah, we always have this debate of Black Panther having being one of the greatest movies ever made, I think, because it's both it keeps the sort of authenticity of indie movies, but also has the impact of a blockbuster movie.
Agreed. Yeah.
And I think it's a perfect mesh, which I want.
Yeah, I think it's the type of movie we need more of.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, Kugler, can't wait for Black Panther 2. So
yeah, very excited.
hopefully that's Gucci Mane. But so, I mean, back to our sort of future films. Basically, I think I'm hoping that as we go throughout the years of making short films, eventually we'll hit our feature film. I really hope that our first feature film would essentially encompass all of our improvements and not all of our mistakes, and
Right, show an evolution.
have The Room Part 2 come out of our asses, which Jesus Christ, I think
Yeesh.
I mean The Room is good, but I mean it's hey.
It's something.
It's something else. It's something else. That's what that is.
Something else. Yeah.
Next week we'll tackle. Hopefully next week we'll tackle come in our biggest
Yes.
short film that hit 1K views. Jesus Christ, it had 1,000 views.
Yeah.
And this is where we introduce Sammy, which I'm sorry if you watch the podcast, you'll know who that is. If not, we'll have the episode link in the description, where he sort of talks about how he's from France and there's a disconnect between here and France.
Yeah.
And he
Pretty
doesn't
funny
like
guy.
tips. And also we'll try to have
Yeah.
Hugo as well. Try to have Hugo as well next week. So we'll have both Limbo and Housetour linked in the description if you guys want to check that out. It's on YouTube. And it's been Darryl.
It's been Phil.
And hopefully next time we get to show you we get to talk over a feature film of ours where we could bash on how shit our acting is.
Exciting.
Yeah. Hopefully we won't have to star in our own goddamn movies. That would be the day. That would be the day when we don't have to play a character in our own movies. When we don't have to play characters in our own movies, that would be the day that we made it. So see you guys next time. Peace.